Shalom Aleichem, Ahmed Yashar here. What do you do when you want to join the people of Israel in keeping the commandments of God? You want to become Jewish, but your spouse isn't like-minded. So, anybody who's looked very deeply into what is involved in joining the people of Israel officially knows that it is forbidden for a Jew to marry a non-Jew. This doesn't mean that the person has to have been born Jewish, but both of them need to have equally accepted upon themselves the obligation of keeping all of God's commandments, whatever applies to them in accordance with the Torah, God's eternal guidance. So what do you do when your husband or wife isn't together with you in this aspiration? So you have several options. First of all, a wise person wouldn't jump to any extreme conclusions and make any rash decisions without considering all the possibilities. So each person's situation will certainly be different and unique. First of all, you must realize that there are many things you can do, many aspects of the Torah that you can incorporate into your life just as you are right now without having joined the people of Israel. You can look into the Mishnah Torah, into the codification of Talmudic law, and you will find in the law of kings and their wars, I believe it's in the 10th chapter, that even a non-Jew who has, as understood, already abandoned idolatry, sorry for that, even a non-Jew who's not officially joined the people of Israel yet, if he has already abandoned idolatry and he's keeping the laws of Noah, there are many things that he can do voluntarily, and he will have reward for his subduing his will to God's commandments, even in the status of not being a full Israelite. So you can incorporate into your life, even without your wife or husband having joined the people of Israel or taken upon that decision yet, such things as sanctifying the Sabbath day with wine and the declaration of God's Malchut, God's sovereignty over creation at the beginning of the Sabbath day. And you can say the Sabbath prayers, you can do the daily prayers, you can say the blessings before and after you eat. Many of the very same things that are the everyday experience of full Jews. The main difference will be, if you haven't yet joined the people of Israel, is that you can't be included in the minyan, in the group of 10 individuals who are required to say certain types of prayers in a group setting. There are certain other things that you'd be limited in doing, but these are not generally the everyday aspects of living a life in accordance with God's Torah. Perhaps with time, as your wife sees how living in accordance with those commandments that you can do, even as a non-Jew, perhaps she will see how this has changed your life for the better, and over time she herself will also desire to join you in this. You have to consider the situation. If after a year or several years of living according to God's commandments, you see that your wife is not changing her mind, or perhaps you yourself will conclude that you're happy living as a non-Jew and keeping those commandments that you can even as a non-Jew, and you will decide that you don't want to convert. The choice is yours. You can still live in accordance with God's will, even without being a full Israelite. God does not command that each and every person join the people of Israel, although this is definitely a great merit, and it definitely fills your life with even more meaning, but also with more responsibilities. If after several years your wife hasn't changed her mind, or your husband hasn't yet changed his mind, and so you have to decide what is your ultimate priority. If the Torah is so dear to you, if keeping God's commandments as a Jew is so dear to you that you want to join the people of Israel, then perhaps, and I think it is most likely, that after several years, if your wife or husband hasn't changed their mind, you will see that there will be an incompatibility, and it could be that what is best for both of you is that you go each your own ways. This is what's required if you want to join the people of Israel. God's Torah has to be above everything other than obviously God himself. But the Torah is the expression of God's will for our lives in this world as we are today. You must decide for yourself. The same goes with children who want to join the people of Israel but are not yet legally able to leave their family if their parents won't allow them to become Jewish, or if the rabbi doesn't feel comfortable doing so against the will of the parents. There's still many things that you can do. Everything that you do, whether you're married or whether you're still with your parents, needs to be done with respect and consideration of those